Who is Nettles? The House of the Dragon character. HBO removed explained. What if I told you that one of the most fascinating characters in House of the Dragon never actually appeared on screen? Book readers have been talking about her for years. She was brave, mysterious, and unlike any other dragonrider in George R.R. Martin's world. Yet, when Season 3 finally arrived, fans realized something shocking. Nettles was gone. Instead, HBO gave much of her storyline to Rhaena Targaryen, making one of the biggest changes from Fire and Blood so far. So who exactly was Nettles? Why was she so important? And why did HBO decide to remove her completely? Let's find out. To understand Nettles, we first need to understand the world she came from. During the Dance of the Dragons, Queen Rhaenyra desperately needed more dragonriders. Dragons were the greatest weapons in Westeros, but many of them had no riders. To strengthen her forces, Rhaenyra invited anyone believed to have even distant Valyrian ancestry to try and claim a dragon. This event became known as the Sowing of the Seeds. Hundreds came forward hoping to ride a dragon. Many failed. Some were burned alive. Others were killed instantly. Only a handful succeeded. Among them was a teenage girl named Nettles. Unlike most dragonriders, Nettles wasn't born into a noble family. She wasn't a princess. She wasn't a lady. She grew up poor near Driftmark and survived by stealing food and doing whatever she could to stay alive. She had no castle, no wealth, and no famous family name. That is exactly what made her story so extraordinary. One of the biggest mysteries surrounding Nettles is whether she was truly a Targaryen. George R.R. Martin never gives readers a clear answer. Unlike other dragon seeds, Nettles doesn't have the traditional Valyrian appearance. She doesn't have silver gold hair or purple eyes. Some readers believe she had only distant Valyrian ancestry. Others think she had no Targaryen blood at all. Martin intentionally leaves the mystery unresolved. If Nettles truly had no royal blood, then she completely changes one of the biggest beliefs in Westeros. For generations, everyone believed only those with Targaryen blood could ride dragons. Nettles challenges that idea. Perhaps dragons choose people for reasons beyond blood alone. The moment that made Nettles legendary was her encounter with Sheepstealer. Sheepstealer was one of the oldest and wildest dragons in Westeros. Unlike dragons raised by the Targaryens, Sheepstealer had lived in the wild for decades. He was aggressive, dangerous, and known for stealing sheep from nearby farms, which is how he earned his name. Most people believed claiming him was impossible, but Nettles approached the challenge differently. She didn't try to force the dragon into submission. She didn't attack him. She didn't use magic. Instead, every morning she brought Sheepstealer a freshly killed sheep. She left the offering and slowly gained the dragon's trust. Day after day, week after week. Eventually, Sheepstealer accepted her presence. Then he allowed her to climb onto his back, without violence, without fear, without anyone expecting it. This became one of the most remarkable dragon-taming stories in all of George R.R. Martin's books. It showed that patience, intelligence, and understanding could accomplish what brute force never could. After claiming Sheepstealer, Nettles officially joined Queen Rhaenyra's side during the Dance of the Dragons. She became one of several dragon seeds who fought for the Blacks. Other dragon seeds included Hugh Hammer, Ulf White, Adam of Hull, and Alan of Hull. While some of these dragon riders would later betray Rhaenyra, Nettles remained loyal for much of the war. Her courage quickly earned the respect of many soldiers and commanders. She had become living proof that greatness could come from humble beginnings. One of the most controversial parts of Nettles' story involves Daemon Targaryen. As the war continued, Daemon and Nettles were sent together to search for Prince Aemon Targaryen and his enormous dragon, Vhagar. For months, they traveled across the Riverlands. They flew together. They hunted together. They fought side by side. Naturally, rumors began spreading. Some people claimed Daemon had fallen in love with Nettles. Others insisted he treated her more like a daughter than a lover. The truth is impossible to know. Fire and Blood is written as a history book based on different historical accounts, and those accounts often contradict one another. George R.R. Martin deliberately leaves the relationship open to interpretation. Even today, Fans continue debating whether Daemon truly loved Nettles or simply cared for her as family. Eventually, everything changed. Several dragon seeds betrayed Queen Rhaenyra and joined the Greens. The betrayals shattered Rhaenyra's trust. She became increasingly suspicious of everyone around her. Rumors about Daemon and Nettles only made matters worse. Believing Nettles might also betray her, Rhaenyra ordered that she be executed. It was a heartbreaking decision. But Daemon refused to let Nettles die. Instead of carrying out the Queen's command, he secretly warned her to escape before the soldiers arrived. Nettles immediately fled on Sheepstealer. She disappeared into the skies of Westeros. Daemon stayed behind. He knew exactly what awaited him: his final battle against Prince Daemon Targaryen. That legendary duel above the God's Eye remains one of the greatest dragon battles ever written. After escaping, Nettles vanished from recorded history. No one knows exactly where she went. However, legends continued for many years afterward. People living in the Mountains of the Moon spoke about a mysterious woman known as the Fire Witch. According to local stories, she lived high in the mountains alongside a dragon. Many historians within Westeros believe this mysterious woman was actually Nettles living in exile with Sheepstealer. George R.R. Martin never confirms whether these stories are true. Once again, Nettles remains one of the greatest mysteries in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire. So why isn't Nettles in House of the Dragon? This question has become one of the biggest debates among fans. Instead of introducing Nettles, HBO decided to give much of her storyline to Rhaenyra Targaryen. In Season 3, Rhaenyra claims Sheepstealer herself. This is a major departure from the events of Fire and Blood. According to showrunner Ryan Condal, the writers wanted to focus more on existing members of House Targaryen rather than introducing another major character late in the series. Giving Sheepstealer to Rhaenyra also allowed the show to complete her long-running story of finally becoming a dragonrider. Some fans understand the decision. Others strongly disagree. Many readers believe removing Nettles changes one of the most important themes of George R.R. Martin's story. Nettles represented hope. She represented ordinary people. She showed that someone without wealth, power, or even confirmed royal blood could rise to greatness. Her story challenged the belief that destiny belongs only to kings and queens. Without Nettles, some fans feel that message becomes much weaker. At the same time, others believe the television series needed to simplify its enormous cast and focus on characters viewers already knew. Whether you agree with the change or not ultimately comes down to personal opinion. One thing is certain: Nettles remains one of the most memorable characters in Fire and Blood, despite never appearing in the television series. She wasn't born a princess. She never sat on the Iron Throne. She never ruled a kingdom. Yet she achieved something many powerful Targaryens never could. She earned the trust of one of the wildest dragons in history through patience, courage, and determination. That is why so many readers continue to admire her today. Whether HBO made the right decision by replacing her with Rhaenyra is something fans will likely debate for many years to come. What do you think? Should House of the Dragon have stayed faithful to the books and introduced Nettles, or do you prefer the show's version of the story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones, and Fantasy Universe explainers. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.